Good Saturday. It is March 16 here in the state of Oklahoma. And we are rushing all the documents this weekend to be submitted to Secretary of State, the great Marco Rubio, the person that made Donald Trump win in the last elections. He was the main American Hispanic figure that made it happen for the great presidency of Donald Trump. We have some great news today because we already identified the criminal family of Lee Rogers and the criminal family of Grace Del Rosario, who has been extorting information on a daily basis in my private abode at 8101 Westwood Circle. So let me get into the meat of the matter. The solution to the war against Ukraine versus Russia is the BREZHNEV, the LEONID BREZHNEV solution. How does that work? It's very complicated, okay? But the president is on the right track. The best way to handle this crisis, the worst crisis since World War II, is to concentrate first on Russia and then make sure that the Ukrainians, hopefully under a new leadership, because Zelensky will not do it, man. I'm telling you right now, Zelensky will not do the job. We need a new leadership in Ukraine that has the vision and the brains to make it happen. Zelensky does not have it. Okay? Before we go into a nuclear war, it has to be clear that the Russians, headed by Vladimir Putin, is not Adolf Hitler. Because if that is your premise, it's all wrong. He would have attacked Ukraine on day one and attacked it with all the nuclear power you can imagine. He is not Adolf Hitler. In fact, there are rumors about this famous actor by the name of Brad Pitt that has identified certain U.S. citizens who are connected with the DNA of SS Gestapo Heinrich Himmler. So there's so many new developments, and we will explicitly, based on evidence, this is not a Tisha Cruz statement who is relying on Cid de la Cruz, you know. This is an actual, based on evidence type of statements that will direct solutions to the Ukrainian versus Russian problem. In fact, on day one, this is a fact, ladies and gentlemen, on day one when the Ukraine war started, I contacted my friends in the Vatican, no less than Pope Francis, to come out with a plan to go to Russia directly and mediate on the war. It never happened because Joe Biden was fooled. President Joe Biden was fooled. And again, this is based on evidence. This is not an hallucination. In fact, they were calling me, especially the family of Oscar Reyes Sanchez, formerly of Procter & Gamble, who again duped Procter & Gamble, and now he is, trying to concoct a certain scenario, which is again false, claiming all my statements as delusional. If it is delusional, Mr. Sanchez, then why do you keep on robbing me with all of these intellectual properties? Why do you keep on stealing, extorting information through Nancy to Bujan and my warm circle. So if you are a man of honor, Oscar Reyes Sanchez, why don't you come out in the open and make a public statement? Who lied with regards to Procter & Gamble? Who lied when it comes to San Miguel Foods? Let us be very clear, because the American populace is demeaning the professional name of the Filipinos. Kaya napakababa ng tingin sa atin ng mga puti, ng mga itim, ng mga Hispanic. Because you're acting in a very unprofessional, low-class American manner. So let me be very clear, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a delusional, false, half-truth statement. I am willing to make my claim that the Vatican and my group can fly to Moscow immediately to settle the score between Ukraine and Russia. Secondly, I am willing to talk to my connections with Johnson & Johnson to fly immediately to Moscow and tell Vladimir Putin, the current president of Russia, the current leader of Russia, if I may say, to commit an economic plan that Johnson & Johnson or because I have other connections, who believe in me 100%, who can come out with an economic development plan post-war. In other words, it's true, President Putin, that you are right now in the worst economic disaster in Russian history. But because of this Midwestern Business Advisors LLC initiative, you can come back in no time at all. As you know very clearly, Ukraine is already relying on BlackRock and other investment institutions. I have the connections in America and in Asia to make that work. All you have to do right now is call up the great senator from Florida, the one, the only Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is a person that you can trust. Marco Rubio, Senator Marco Rubio, is a man of honor. He is a man that you can rely on. So let us now collectively talk to one another and say, let us stop the war. And after that, we will create the economic development plan. We will create a very clear path to permanent peace. After all, you are not Gazans. You are not Hamas. You have proven that. Congratulations to the soldiers of Vladimir Putin. You are not Muslim terrorists. You are not savages. You are not barbarians as claimed by the others. You are not Germans like Nazis. So it is very clear, ladies and gentlemen, that the war can end overnight with this particular video. And I am putting my reputation on the line. Unlike these people like Oscar Reyes Sanchez, Grace Del Rosario, all they do is malign me and destroy my reputation with President Donald Trump. So it is very clear, it is very, very clear that with my initiative and with my connections in the Vatican, we can make this an overnight success. And all you have to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, is pray for the President of Russia and the President of the United States to immediately believe in professionals that can deliver, because I know what it takes to make it happen. I have been there. I have been killed, assassinated 18 times. I thought it was going to stop with 16 times, but now it's already 18 times. And they know who these people are. In fact, I have already submitted a partial list to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. And Kristi Noem, in fairness, already made a very strong statement that they're working on it, but it's not that it's not that easy to deport these animals. So let's put it out in the open. Let's put it out in the open. Well, let's have a timetable. As we professionals would say, we have to have a timetable. The plans have to be executed immediately, and there has to be funding so that this will be an intense negotiations 24/7 directly in Moscow to show our good faith, and the war will end overnight. And as I told you, my statements are always very clear. I am not a crook like the De Rosarios who just want to make money out of this. I am not an unprofessional like Oscar Reyes-Sañez, who stabs me in the back through Nancy Tubujan-Uy, my wife. So it's very clear. It can be done. Just do not believe with these animals, because they have destroyed America time and time again. So I'd like to end this video, because we are rushing the documents right now to the President, furnished copy Senator Marco Rubio, and Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. So furthermore, because we have so many details to discuss and put on video, this is what I'd like to tell you right now. To all the Americans right now, to all the Russians there are right now, this matter can be solved overnight by professionals like me who know what they're doing, who have been there time and time again. And for these animals who destroy me, your days are numbered. Your days are numbered. You will be either deported, or I will see you in the court of law in the United States of America. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gavin Batista, your host at the Prosperity Channel, here in the United States of America, starring Oklahoma City, the booming city, the surplus economy, for the first time in their history, because of my team. I'd like to stress that, because of my team. And again, I can prove that with evidence, and it is not a Tisha Cruz statement. Thank you, and good morning.